What's going on, guys? It's Post here, and we are back at it with the Wi-Fi battles. Wow, that was a terrible joke. But anyways, we're back with some more Wi-Fi battles. This is all the way back from Tesla Mouse's tournament. September? I think this is September. So, this is definitely some old stuff. Is the music too loud? Here, I'm gonna lower it on my headset. I think that's alright. I think it sounds fine for you guys, it's just a little bit loud on my end. That's really unprofessional for me to keep saying that, but you know what? That's why I'm a streamer, that's why I'm not a YouTuber. That's besides the point. So like I said, this is Tesla Mouse's, this is from Tesla Mouse's tournament way back in September. Life has just been really busy. If you follow me on Twitch as well, which pretty much everyone here does, you should know that I've been pretty inactive there too, just because like I said, life's been really busy. Oras kind of has me bummed out, and I don't know. I feel like that when I stream other games, it's usually not as pleasant of an experience as when I stream Mons. But then, of course, when I'm streaming Mons, it kind of burns me out because, you know, it's the game. But Sun and Moon's coming out pretty soon. I want to make a more formal State of the Union, sort of describing where the channel is now, both the Twitch and the YouTube, and where we plan to go in that regard. But enough of this. Like I said, this is round 4 for me, so only my second battle because my first 2 opponents didn't show up. And this is versus Derf. You guys have seen him on the channel before. He's been on here at least once, maybe twice, so he's pretty much a regular at this point. And we've got ourselves a game versus him. This is using the same team that we had before with Hippowdon, X-Control, Wifi. Basically, it's supposed to fake a Zard Y team, but it is Zard X. And Derf is bringing his Derf stuff. He loves Porygon Z, loves Lantern, and everything else is a mystery with him. So that's pretty much all you know about Derf. He loves to bring his original stuff, but he is pretty good. So we're just gonna go ahead and get the game started. Go ahead and stay with that Dark Cave, OST. I'm gonna take that out though so you guys can see the entire game. And he's gonna lead right off with the Dawn himself. This thing hits hard. It's spooky. I'm gonna lead off with Zard X because it has a pretty solid matchup versus everything on his team. There's nothing that can OHKO me, and I could potentially OHKO or 2-hit KO everything else. So it's definitely going to be one of my win cons. It's not going to be my only win con though, because I do have other ways to win, I believe. But Zard X is going to be pretty important, that's why I lead off with it. He's going to lead off with Porygon Z. I know he loves using Specs or Agility. Those are the 2 that I see him use a lot. So I'm just going to go for Flare Blitz, and I was hoping it would take him really low to the point where Sand would take him out, but it just straight up takes him out. Now he's going to go to Dragonite. Obviously I can't take him out through multi-scale, so he's going to try and take me out. So I'm going to go out to Hippowdon, get some Sand up, 2-click the multi-scale, try and get some rocks going. He's obligated to go for the Dragon Claw though, because Zard X destroys him. And my Hippowdon is physically defensive based, so I can take that pretty well. And I think at this point, I'm just going to get rocks up. My coverage move is Rock Slide, so I can hit him, but a lot of these tend to run weakness policy, so it could be risky going for the Rock Slide. And I have Rock Slide because I consider Talonflame to be a bigger threat than Dragonite. But Dragonite is still a problem. I'm going to go get Rocks up because I expect him to switch out, because I'm obviously physically defensive by how much his Dragon Claw did. But he decides to stay and go for the DD and try and play his luck around me having Ice Fang. Don't really agree with that play, but it's going to end up working out for him. He's going to go for the second DD though, and if he has weakness policy, that means he'd be all the way up to +4 after the weakness policy activates. I'm obligated to go for the Rock Slide here, however, so I can't switch, and I can't really do anything else. I just got to go for Rock Slide, hope he's not weakness policy, and hope that I just don't lose like turn 4. He is not weakness policy, however, so we're looking at a pretty good spot there. He's probably a Lumberry or something. I think he said after the game he was a Lumberry, as a matter of fact. And this Dragon Claw, even though he's at +2, isn't going to do that much. I mean, it still does a lot, but for being +2 Dragonite, that's not going to do that much. This is why I don't agree with this play, because he's not weakness policy. And between another Rock Slide and another round of Sandstorm, that Dragonite is going to go down. My Hippowdon is pretty low, however, but I'm more than okay taking that trade. So we're 6-4 right now. We're in a pretty solid position. Yeah, I'm really happy with where we are. He has a Sableye. Don't know if this is Mega or not. And the only reason why I say I don't know is because it's Doom. And not Doom, wow. Because it's Derf. And Derf he marches to the beat of his own drum, like I said before. However, Clefable is a pretty solid answer to pretty much anything Sableye wants to do. He is going to Mega Evolve, and again, that's kind of a mystery to me why he decided to stay in with the Dragonite instead of going to the Sableye. He's going to have to explain that play to me. He's going to go for the knockoff, however, knocks off my lefties. It's going to suck, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. I'm Calm Mind. Oh yeah, this is Calm Mind, T-Bolt, Moonblast, Soft-Boiled. Pretty solid set, like I said. It helps me deal with Talonflame and shit like that, but it's not really gonna be too useful versus Sableye, but I have Moonblast anyways. And he has a Skarmory. That's another thing that T-Bolt is useful for, is Skarmory, although Flamethrower deals with that as well. So he's just gonna go Skarmory. I'm gonna decide to stay in just because I have T-Bolt and Skarmory, unless it's like max attack Iron Head or something ridiculous. Can't really do too much. Iron Head is not a 2-hit KO. Unless he gets a crit, of course. So I'm just going to try my luck. I don't have leftovers, however, so this could be a little bit dangerous. But I'm up 6-4 already, and I'm just going to go ahead and try and push my luck, because unless he's Foul Play Sableye, then my Zard can still come through at the end. So I'm just going to try and push my luck, try and weaken everything to help Zard win, or if I'm lucky enough, I can just win the game myself. However, these roosts are pretty annoying because you lose your flying type when you roost, so that means I have to soft boiled or go for like Calm Mind or something, because Thunderbolt just won't do that much on those turns. So I can't pressure him that effectively through the roost game. But I'm going to soft boiled, and I'm just going to stick with the game plan, like I said, of trying to go for game, trying to do as much damage as possible. However, he gets a crit and he gets a flinch, so it must be nice, and yeah, I'm gonna have to switch out of here, unfortunately, because I do need this to help me deal with Sableye. Not necessarily, but it's just gonna help me. Like I said, I was trying to be cheeky there and just try and end the game right away, but it didn't work out too well. So I'm gonna go for Iron Head. I'm just gonna go for Flare Blitz because he does have a Lantern, but Lantern, I'm pretty sure, dies to Flare Blitz plus Dragon Claw anyways. So I'm not really too worried about that. I'm just gonna go for the Flare Blitz, so he decides to stay in, trying to kill me down with Recoil plus Rocky Helmet. You know, that's kind of the old saying. Well, not really old saying, but that's kind of the saying about how you kill a Zard X, is you make it use Flare Blitz on a Rocky Helmet behind to make it kill yourself, or kill itself. Normally that's Garchomp or Landorus, but in this case it's going to be Skarmory. And I'm not completely gone yet, but I am pretty low. I'm going to go to Clefable, since that is my designated Sableye answer, and it can't really do too much to me. It's going to go out to Victini, however, predict that double. And unfortunately I can't really stay in. However, I do have Rocks up, so that Victini's gonna have to take some chip damage, even though he is leftovers. I remember back in the day, there used to be a pretty neat set. It was Taunt, Stallbreaker, Victini. Pretty cool. Don't know how viable that is now. It was a pretty neat set. I'm just gonna take the opportunity to sack a Powdon to whatever he wants to do. I can find out more information about the Victini, and I can get Sand up so that my Excadrill can come in for the revenge kill. So at this point, with the Powdon this low, it's not going to be too useful versus remaining team members. And that's pretty much what's going to happen. He's going to reveal Inferno, revealing that he's specially based on leftovers too, which is really interesting. But like I said, it doesn't matter too much in the long run because I can just go to Excadrill on the follow-up. And we're just going to go ahead and do that. Why is this name Bicket? Hello? Okay, whatever. But, like I said, we're just going to be able to go to Excadrill. He has the Lantern, the Skarmory is gone, and at this point I think Excadrill can do some damage here. Yeah, we're just going to go for EQ. He's going to sack the Lantern. That frees something else up for Zardex, if that becomes a possibility. Although Zardex is pretty low. But at this point, I think it's just Lantern, who's gone now, and Sableye Victini. So he's going to go out to that Sableye, like we mentioned earlier. He's going to have to take some Rocks damage. I'm not Life Orb, however. I am Air Balloon. Air Balloon is to help me deal with Landorus a little bit better, because this team is a little Landorus weak. It's also a little Garchomp weak. So that's why I have that there. But Air Balloon is more an item of necessity than it's like a personal preference. I prefer Life Orb myself. But he's going to go for Will-O-Wisp. Again, I have Clefable, and he's Clefabled on. I'm just going to go for Moonblast because it doesn't really matter what health this is at. All I need to do is be able to kill Sableye, and as long as I'm alive, I can do that. If it goes to Victini, I feel like I'm better having him take Rocks damage and then take chip damage from the Moonblast than I am trying to go for Soft Boiled and not punishing Victini for switching in. And with Mega Sableye gone, Clefable is useless at this point. I can just sack Clefable as he goes for the Inferno. And I think this is the last turn of Sand, so this could be a little dangerous because I have low health Charizard, low health Excadrill, He is at high health, so we don't know about the Latios, but we'll see. We're gonna go out to Latios right now, I believe. No, we got Weavile, never mind. I was just taking you guys. We got Weavile right here, and since he's leftovers, we know he's not Choice Scarfed, and I can just go for the knockoff and go ahead and take him out with Weavile. So that's gonna be a GG's to Derf. Like I said, he marches the beat of his own drum, but it was still a pretty solid game. It was a 4-0, but my Charizard was pretty low. Excadrill would have died, but we just had pretty good control of the game. Like I said, Charizard just destroyed him. Clefable also did a good number. Derf just did his own stuff, and he lost to my top tier stuff. That's just how shit goes sometimes. But I'm going to upload the game anyway, just because it is from a tournament. And we have, I think, 2 or 3 more matches from this tournament left. You can look at the results if you want some spoilers, but I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. But the next 2 games are going to be pretty good. But like I said, this was versus Derf. I don't think he uploads, but he's been on the channel before. Hopefully you enjoyed him on the channel this time. And be sure to click all the links in the description so you can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, sub to my YouTube if you haven't. And be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and leave a comment as to why you enjoyed the video or you did not enjoy the video so that I can improve next time. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed, and peace.